It's finally time to answer some long-held questions about one of the more unique boots in the Red Wing line that was discontinued for a little while, beloved by lots of people, then it came back and allegedly changed some things. And there's some, even in the Stridewise's video, people are saying that it doesn't have a midsole where it clearly kind of has a midsole. And so we're gonna cut this thing in half, run through all of our tests, to really figure out what is the Red Wing Beckman? How does it differ from the Blacksmith and the Iron Ranger? Why might you want it over other boots that Red Wing sells? What are the actual differences from a practical standpoint, but also an aesthetic and style standpoint? So first, where does the Beckman come from? You know, there's a fairly long story about it, but for the most part, all you need to know is Mr. Beckman, the founder of Red Wing, wanted a boot that he could wear just as easily on the shop floor as going to the boardroom and having meetings. So he took one of their classic styles with, and I don't know, there's some confusion. I don't know if it was the Blacksmith or the Iron Ranger, but basically made a dressier version for that exact purpose. But as far as I understand, it wasn't officially part of the Red Wing line until the 100th anniversary in 2005, where they introduced it as the Beckman. But this was not the official Beckman that we have here, because in 2014, they discontinued the Beckman until 2024, when they brought back this exact Beckman. But some things have changed. So maybe after this video, I'll buy an old pair of Beckman and do a comparison if this does well enough. But for now, we're trying to figure out what the difference is between three of their most popular boots. So what are these boots? Well, let's start first with the OG. Let's start with the Iron Ranger, one of the most iconic boots of all time. Arguably Red Wing's most popular boot. It's probably this or the Mocktoe boot. So what is this? The brand is Red Wing. The style is Iron Ranger. They weigh 1 pound, 13 ounces. They retail for $349, and they're made in the United States in the Red Wing factory. And the way they position this product is the Iron Ranger is an American icon beloved for its standout style and long-lasting construction. With its toe cap, speed hook, and vibrant outsole, there's no mistaking this leather legend. Compare that to this boot, the Blacksmith. Brand's Red Wing, styles Blacksmith. They weigh a little bit lighter at 1 pound, 10 ounces, so very small just by not having that toe cap. This is most of the difference, I think, from the weight, and maybe all the way through. That's maybe part of what we'll look at with this video too. They retail for a little bit cheaper at $330. They're made in the USA in the Red Wing factory as well. And the way they position this product is the Blacksmith is a boot beloved for its highly wearable everyday versatility. A sleek, smooth toe leads the way, and solid hardware adorns with flat wax laces, and every bit as durable as they are dignified. And then finally, to the mystery boot. Brand is Red Wing, the style is the Beckman. They weigh 1 pound, 11 ounces, which surprised me because it's a little bit heavier than the Blacksmith. They retail for the most expensive out of the three for $399. They're also made in USA in the factory, the Red Wing factory. And the way they position this product is the Beckman effortlessly combines vintage charm with modern sophistication. With its timeless design and premium full-grain leather, it's a statement piece that exudes both rugged heritage and refined elegance. Product update with the boot breakers. So, after some feedback from you guys, this was our original boot breaker material, just some veg tan, but it's a little too smooth on top. We decided to go with slightly adjusted leather where we got a little bit of a buff top. So come on over here. Now you can see the difference between the old 5mm versus the new. It's not gonna feel as slippery, especially when you start sweating. It's gonna break in maybe just a little bit faster because this leather's a little bit softer than what we went with last time. And ultimately, I think it's just gonna improve the product. So appreciate your guys' feedback. Product update. So what's the difference? Let's start looking at the leather first, because for the most part, the Blacksmiths and the Iron Rangers come in the same leathers. You know, they come in their mule skinners, they come in their more distressed wax nubucks with the amber harness and all the other famous leathers. But the Beckmans, they use a slightly different leather that's a little bit more dressy, has a little bit more, I think they say it has more pull-up in it, but more than anything, to me, it's more of the difference of the finish itself. Because if you look at the difference of these two leathers, the Blacksmith has that wax nubuck where they sanded the top really lightly, then threw a layer of wax on top to give it not necessarily a shiny finish, but not nearly as matte as nubuck. Versus this leather is a lot more like your classic dress boot leather, where it's a really smooth finish on top. If it is buffed at all, it's very slight, and it's not nearly as rugged of a leather as this. And so you can see kind of that difference of utility just from the leather alone. You've got really rugged, hardy leathers versus more dress leathers. But what about the thicknesses? Is the more dressy leather thinner? It's actually not. It's the exact same thickness, 2.3 millimeters thick up to 2.5. But what about the inside? Is the Beckman lined like you would see in more of a traditional dressier boot? Nope. You can see it's a lot more similar to the regular boots where it's unlined in the quarters. And if I reach down in the vamp, I think it's a leather lining. Maybe. It almost feels a little plasticky, to be honest. Watch them have a plastic leather lining in there. I guess we'll see if we get it cut in half. But completely unlined in the quarters, but it does have a dedicated heel counter like the Blacksmiths, but not like the Iron Rangers. And then the actual the footbed. Both of these boots are your classic Red Wing heritage construction. Big slabs of veg tan leather running all the way through, a little bit of a heel pad right here. That's not necessarily for comfort, it's more for covering the nails that go up through the heel to fasten that heel on there. So what's different with the Beckmans? Basically same all the way through. You can see it's a veg tan insole all the way through. But what's different is that sock liner, that half sock liner goes a little bit further into the boot. It's a lot more swept forward and it has a little bit of foam in the heel. So you get just a little bit more comfort. But so far, very, very similar. But one of the biggest differences, and I watched Stridewise's video about this, and he said that the guys at Red Wing and Vince at Truman said that the Beckman didn't have a midsole, but pretty clearly it does. So maybe I just misheard them, because the Iron Ranger and the Blacksmith do not have a midsole. It's one of the interesting parts about these two boots is I'd say like 90% of heritage boots in this price category and above are gonna have a dedicated leather midsole, where you can see this, you might think this is the midsole, but that's just the welt. Usually you have a leather midsole because it adds a little bit more rigidity, adds some durability, gives you more leather to give you that footprint. But for a more casual heritage boot, I kind of like the idea of having no midsole because you get so much more flex out of it while still having this hard, thick leather in the inside. For the insole, it actually breaks in the shape of your foot with the cork filling underneath. And you can see both of these boots don't have that dedicated midsole. But you compare that to the Beckmans, you can see it's got that midsole running all the way through. So I don't know, maybe I misheard them, or maybe they just have a different way of describing what a midsole is. But as far as I'm concerned, the midsole is in the middle between the insole and the outsole. Midsole, this is the outsole, that's the insole, that's the midsole. So I don't know what they are on about. Maybe Stridewise misheard, maybe I misheard Stridewise. But that is a difference between these boots, not just functionally, but aesthetically, because you can see how different that looks with that really clean line running all the way through, where this looks like a lot more like a work boot to me. Not as much exposed leather, the contrast stitching, rugged, where this is a lot more refined and has that line running all the way through. And that kind of brings us to the outsole, because you can see the other two have this Vibram outsole. It's like the mini lug, it's a two-piece outsole. The heel is nailed on and then it's stitched all the way through, versus the Beckman, it's a half sole. So you can see this is, I actually really like this. It's kind of a throwback to the old school World War II corded soles, grow cord. I don't think there's any cords in here. I don't see even any remnants of anything in there. Maybe there is, but I can't see it. And so a big part of the reason they had to have that midsole, because if you're gonna do a half sole and you don't have a midsole, you would literally be up into the cork filling. So you have to have that midsole. So I think the midsole was more of a means to an end to try to get this half sole on, to get that half sole dressier look, and you really couldn't do it any other way. And that's probably part of the reason why it's $50 more expensive, because it's $3.99. Okay, what about the construction though? Well, these are basically built the exact same, even with, I think, the exact same welt material, because they're 270-degree welts, where that welt runs from the heel all the way around the toe to the back of the heel, and then there's obviously no stitching there, as you can see. And that's because there's a bunch of nails driven up through there that you can see the little reflections in there when I hit the light just right of those nails popping through. And so constructed basically the exact same way too. So what's the actual difference from the outside then, besides the midsole? Well, it's the shape of the boot. And that's probably the biggest difference between all these, is the Blacksmith and the Iron Rangers are made on a more Munson style last, where it's fairly generous, and the toe box has a pretty big toe bump to give you plenty of room. It's far from that really almondy dress shoe last. And that's part of why people love these boots, because they are that true heritage style. They have a little bit more wiggle room in the toe. So how's that different from the Beckman? Well, this is a similar last that kind of rides between the more heavy duty work heritage lasts and a real true dress last that's really pointy and almondy. They kind of fuse the two together to give you the new Beckman. And this is what I don't really know for sure, because I've heard a few people say this has always been the last, and people have said they just changed it for the recent release version. But either way, it is definitely a different last, because it's a lot more pointy, it has a lot more almondy shape to it. And so that also kind of leans in that direction of making these a little bit more dressy boot. And so the consequence of that is it's gonna be a little less comfortable if you like the wide toe boxes. It will dress up a little bit better than some of these more bulbousy toe boxes. And the more dress style is echoed across the entire boot, because you can see with the Iron Ranger, you've got that raw edge, you've got the big chunky hardware that's two-toned, you've got the contrast stitching versus the uniform stitching on the Beckman. And so just across the board, it's not like they took the Iron Ranger and the Blacksmith and just completely made it into a dress boot. They more just added elements of dressiness to those boots to make it ride right in between a dress boot and a heritage boot. But I don't know what's on the inside. And because they're more expensive, is anything changed on the inside? Some people say it's got a fiberglass shank, some say it doesn't have a shank, it's got the midsole. Is it worth the $50 extra? Are you paying 50 bucks just for the aesthetics? Let's find out. Okay, we got them cut in half, and if you're not subscribed, consider pushing that little subscribe button, because without your guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do any of this, because we have to buy brand new products every single week just to destroy, to show you guys what you're actually spending your hard-earned money on. And these debates on, especially like the heritage world, they've been going on for like 10 or 20 years, up to 100 years, trying to figure out what the difference is between these. And with your guys' support, that's how we've answered so many of these long-held questions. So thank you guys. If you're not subscribed, just push that little subscribe button. Check out our handmade leather goods, because that's how we do this. So now, let's see what's inside. So what's the difference? Is the lining plastic? That's my concern. No, it's not plastic. It just kind of felt a little bit more dry than I was expecting, but that is leather. And you can see it's different from the Iron Ranger and Blacksmith, because these both have a canvas lining. This has a leather lining. So there's a little price increase of where you could say, oh, it's worth a little bit more money. But remember the mock toes, they've got a leather lining too. And the mock toes, I think, are cheaper than both these boots. Okay, what else is different? Well, pretty much the same in the heel area as the Blacksmith, same leatherboard heel counter, same toe stiffeners. You can see what I was talking about with that difference in the heel right here. You can see that foam coming through versus no foam. And you can see it sweeps, that little sock liner sweeps up a little bit further. But the real differences are on the inside. These two are basically exact same sole construction wise, so I'm just pulling it out. So, what's different? Well, let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Obviously, we've got that top lift or the heel right here. Then you go up to the outsole, which is the full length outsole with the Iron Ranger, but just the half sole with the Beckman. And then for sure, a midsole. It runs all the way through. It acts as a midsole. It's between the outsole and the insole in the middle, midsole. So I don't know what those guys were on about, but look at the amount of cork in this thing. That is like almost twice the amount of cork as the Iron Ranger. And it is chock full of cork too. See how much more sparse the Iron Ranger is, and it's really flat right there at the ball of your foot? That's like over a 1/4 inch of cork right at your ball of your foot. And so it will be more comfortable over the long term, because that's gonna squish and compress and give you more of a footprint. Plus you've got the midsole in there. It's gonna also compress and give you a little bit more of that heritage-y feel. But you'll notice iron shank, fiberglass shank. And so I'm not sure why they went that direction. Fiberglass shanks are gonna be a little bit more flexible, lighter weight. They're easier for traveling because they don't set off the alarm in the airport. But I would have thought they would just done this exact same as their other boots. So I like that they did go the extra mile to make this a little bit more dressy and a little bit more lightweight by adding that fiberglass shank on the inside. So it is intentional. It's not like they just like, oh, let's just make it again. Like they actually thought this through, because you can see there's different elements on the inside. So what are the actual differences if we line them all up? Well, starting from the outside, it's maybe the biggest thing is the shape of the boot. It's a lot more dressy style, and just across the board, it's just tuned down a little bit from the heritage world and tuned up towards the dressy world. And then obviously the leather lining, the midsole, the half sole, the fiberglass shank, and that's pretty much it. So they're very similar boots, but different enough that I think it is worth having different versions of this boot. So then why would you want the Beckman over these other two boots? For the exact same reason we talked about. It's just dressier. If you're gonna try to hybrid it with wearing your denim, but also wearing a pair of slacks, a little bit more slim fit stuff, this can pull that off a lot easier than a big old bulbousy toe Iron Ranger. Because just look at the toe profile difference between these two. So is it worth the $50 over the Iron Rangers? If you don't care at all that it's more dressy, it's probably not worth the extra $50 to $80. But if you always wanted a more dressy version of the Iron Ranger or Blacksmith, that's exactly what this is. And it has some upgraded materials. It is a little bit more refined. And so I think it's still well within the price point it should be for this boot. It is getting up in that more $450 price point and price range, but it is a really good boot through and through. And that's part of what makes Red Wing's so popular, is they're vertically integrated so they can make really high quality boots in that $300 price range that a lot of these other brands cannot compete with because they own the factories, they own the tannery, and they've been doing it for so long that they have that ability to really be a price leader in the industry. And that's why in that $300 price range, people always point to Red Wings for heritage boots. So which one would I want out of the three? I just can't help but love the Iron Ranger. I just love it. It's just one of the most classic boots of all time. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your experience is in these and how they differ from model to model. Let me know if I missed anything. Am I off on the midsole? I don't know where those guys were going off on that. That makes no sense. And if you want to see the old Beckman versus the new Beckman, let me know, because I think that'd be a really cool video. Because a lot of times these brands will start with really high quality and it slowly diminishes over time. And that's what I want to figure out. So support this video if you want to see that, and thank you guys. See ya.